Hey viewers, Hexcraft here. We're going to start a few things. First off, it's been a bit since I feel like I've done a proper one of these. It's been kind of feeling League's been kind of more of a dread, it felt like, where there was no spirit anymore. I didn't have fun playing the game, and it felt more like a cash grab for skins. I was ready to walk away. But as the last bit's been, better ARAM maps, they're doing good variety skins. It feels like old League again, where games actually felt fun with friends, and now we have Doombots, so yeah, I got pulled right back in. So I'm glad to be back doing these videos, and hopefully you guys are enjoying them. I decided to cover Xin Zhao because he got updated, and also I've covered him in the past, so I want to compare what his old look was to the new one now. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with base skin, I will say in these comparisons, I will be comparing them to how they used to look, but more or less holding them as themselves. Are they good on their own merit, not just better than their previous versions? And as always, base skin gets a 5, so it's no difference, but this is a huge improvement. First off, before, his outfit was more so just Asian armor, but with Demacian colors and themes to it. Now, it's actually Demacian designed, but the pieces he's wearing and the way he is looks like it's supposed to be more of a Ionian kind of styled outfit. Again, you can clearly see the Petricite metal armors and it in the spear, but the robes and gold resemble like mage seekers and nobles. All in all, it's a beautiful outfit, and again, the spear update is great, even though it's technically a Biden because it has 2 prongs technically. But either way, it's just balanced a lot more better than the old one that was shorter and clunkier and a lot wider of a tip. So yeah, great skin, beautiful base. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we have a good Commando skin. Before, this was just green Xin Zhao with a meh-looking spear. Now, this is some cool tactical future armor. He has a serrated knife at the end of his spear. This is combat perfect, and it looks so much better than it used to. All in all, it's weird to say that a Commando skin is good, and the only thing that could make it better was having special effects to it. Maybe some grass effectiveness here and there. But all in all, it's beautiful, it's great, it gets a 6. This is another skin that originally used to be just a recolor, but now it has a beautiful Chinese military outfit and a halberd. And with that now, in the past I commented how a lot of his spears weren't spears, but this is a halberd. But to be fair, it's one of the variants of halberd that was basically described as spear with blade attached to the front of it. So good on them for picking this version. And yeah, no, again, just a beautiful weapon, great looking armor. It's just missing its own special effects, and this skin would be really high up there probably. Honestly, these base early skins got such a big update, which I understand why Riot might have raised the price slightly. I think it's kind of still lame they do that, but hey, it is what it is, and at least it looks really good. I give Imperial a 6. Oh, this is so much better. Before it was clunky with a shoulder plate blocking one of his faces. Now the shoulders have blades that are designed to actually catch a sword. Instead of having spikes on the helm, he has sort of a blade going across that has an indent to it. The outfit just looks way much cleaner in my opinion, and it's now a more traditional-esque trident with some more blocky-esque blades to it. But that's not what makes it amazing, in my opinion. What makes it amazing is this is a lore-accurate skin. And not just a lore-accurate skin. I mean, this is Noxian armor and weaponry. We've seen this in Arcane. We've seen this in the art designs they've done. This is proper Noxian Gladiator. Even the weapon, which is just amazing because, again, the base skin represents a mix of Demacia and Ionian design. This stands out as Noxian, and it just feels more alive because of it. And yeah, because of that detail they put in there, and didn't just make it generic Gladiator, but actually went with Noxian design still, I gotta give it a 7, because, again, they put a lot more work to make sure it actually fit the fact this was a lore-accurate skin. First off, I'm going to start out with pointing out the fact of those wings are still not attached to the armor. Next off, technically speaking, this is more fantasy than the previous one. The old version of the skin actually was heavily almost one-to-one with how we would see actual wing Hussar armor. And I probably mispronounced Hussar, but oh well. But what I do really like about this skin, even though it's fantasy, it's good. Like, yeah, it's nothing that's supposed to be like realistic, but honestly, that's not a bad thing. It's beautiful, like, breastplate armor. The shoulders are well defined. The outfit he has under his clothes that leads up to the arm bracers, it looks very, like, decorative, which, again, this is supposed to be a higher ranking armor, so. And of course, he has riding, I guess, chaps you'd call them, because they do seem to be resembling chaps, but either way, he has riding boots. He has protectors for his thighs, because this is a mounted combat one. And the four-headed spear weapon is just a cool design. It's not as bulky as weird as the old one. Honestly, visually speaking, this is an improvement. The top of hair coming out also is just a nice little nudge. But what I think is the funniest thing, the sort of Demacian-esque flag hanging off the spear, it is technically an upside-down Polish flag, which the wing Hussars are Polish. So yeah, that's a nice little detail that I love. But all in all, the model's a perfect update and just looks good, even if it's not historically accurate. So yeah, I give it a 7. It'd be even higher up though if it had special effects. Quick nerd fact, those who don't know, Warring Kingdoms is based off of 3 kingdoms, and out of the generals in those stories, the one that wields a spear actually also wore the kind of steel, silverest blue outfit, and also had the name Zhao, as in Zhao. So yeah, kind of a fun little thing for a skin that they basically made a bit after his creation. Now talking about the skin, again, the model is very much updated. The colors are a lot less, I guess, dull and darker. Before, a lot of his skins had dark colors to them. Now, the metal looks a lot better, and the blue just looks smoother, it feels like. Color-wise, I would say this is a lot more popping, weirdly enough, even though they're not bright colors. They're still dull, but they stand out a lot more than darker colors used to have. More importantly, however, are these effects. Adding more of the blue spark and all that everywhere, with a bit of yellow, still is great. The thrust of his W, I believe, has the old lightning bolt mixed in there, but again, more sparks, more energy. The explosion of energy from his E and the alt. That shield that's sparking off you just makes it so much better. I gotta give this an 8. It sucks to say, but it's a really good skin. There's nothing different though. Updated model, spear is now been readjusted size-wise, but this is the most one-to-one. I do love how they kept the earpiece still, even though you can barely see it. And I do love how the spear will fold into the briefcase, which you have during alt. But all in all, it's, again, just still 1-to-1 with what it used to be, which is not bad. I love skins that put characters in suits. But one little detail I do love is that this is technically the only time you get the closest to seeing Xin Zhao's old spear, because this still somewhat resembles how his old spear was, with its proportions being a bit more adjusted now. But design-wise, the tip of the spear resembles still the old one more. So all in all, it's a good skin, but it's going to get a 6 only. Yeah, no, immediately. What I've said in the past, the whole, like, it needed more fire effects and better design, yeah, they did that. That's exactly what I asked for. And yeah, when you're doing your 3-hit knockup combo, there is a flame spiraling around your trident. You have fire blast in your thrust. You have a fire explosion in your dash. The alt flame is just so much better. The extra bit of smoke as well, and heat radiating off it. And more so, again, the color design being a lot more lighter gray than just darker gray the old skin had is great and amazing in my opinion. The trident spear has been rebalanced so that instead of being a big ass blade in the end with 2 like winged spears to it, it's actually again more of a trident. Other details I've noticed is that the shoulder pads are a bit more angled, and the horns actually are pointing to the sides when they go up instead of just straight up. All in all, the little details are great. The model looks still amazing. Spear readjusted is fixing it, and these effects are beautiful, and yeah, I gotta give it an 8. Again, this is before one of the skins that I said Xin Zhao has no real abilities that could show off effects that make these skins better. However, cosmic smoke and stars from his ult, the constellation smoke thrust, the star map that appears when you dash forward, the spear glowing like a comet and having a trail of stars connecting to it as you swing. This skin is amazing. This is one of the top of his skins, and the balancing wise for this skin, the new model, is great. Because again, the old one looked like it was a big, fast broadsword at the end of that spear. Now, it's big, but it's not as freakishly, like, goofy. And my only real complaints I could possibly give this skin, it's the same complaint I had originally, that it just feels too much like a Pantheon skin that was given to him. But the thing that really hurts me the most, you could have given us a proper, beautiful star map during his ult, like, under his feet. If that was there, God, the skin would be so much better even. And the fact that the light effect of the spear, it follows the base of the spear to the tip that the lights do. Small nitpick there, but honestly, if they add that one star map effect, this is Xin Zhao's best skin ever. I had to give it an 8 because, again, the nitpicks. But all in all, it's an 8.9 if anything. Like, this is almost practically a 9. But I gotta be fair and point out that that little detail of his ult being still a bit more blander holds it back by just that 0.1. This game was already good. Now it's been polished to amazing, in my opinion. Again, the details that kind of got fucked over are small here. I feel like the coloring is way better. However, the chest and legs red, I feel like lost all its color to it and looks more like the darkened kind of skin. The hair, though, being white dipped in red, I think is nicer than the red highlights and the black. His attacks and his glaive and his Q and his ultimate now have a silvery effect to them, which I think is just so nice to have. And really makes it pop out with the grays and reds. The only thing I'd say is a downside, really. The thrust, the W, and the impact, the E, kind of just feel a little meh. All in all, this is a great skin. And even though it's still a glaive, which I want to point that out because I pointed out in the original video, this is a top tier skin. It gets an 8, and again, just because it's getting an 8 does not make it not one of his best skins. The only reason that I feel like hold it back or anything else is that small details and the limitations of Xin Zhao, which they overcome very well in these new skins. I'll give them that. But yeah. This one was hard to actually, like, notice. They removed a lot of the black in the outfits, and they polished up the effects. Besides that, and the readjusting of the actual model, this skin's still 1-to-1. The smoke effect, the fireworks here and there. Yeah, it's a nice skin. It gets a 7, but I feel like they could have added a little bit more with the firework effects. But all in all, again, good skin. And there you have it. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, like the video, share, follow for more, comment down below if there's a champion you'd like to see and I'll try to get to it. And, out of the way, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.